Hello, thank you for coming today to our Liberty Football Weekly Conference. We'll take some questions here in a minute. We started last week. We played in Columbia at Columbia Hickman High School. Lost a close game, 34-30. Is a game that came down to the final seconds, a game that was back and forth with us getting out to a lead, them reclaiming the lead, and then back and forth in the second half. And unfortunately, we were unable to come out on top, similar to some of our other games that we had. This week we return for our final regular season game. We play a Thursday night game at William Jewell. William Jewell College has some conflict on Friday, so we play a Thursday night game this week against Ruskin High School. It'll also be our senior night that we'll have this upcoming week. So go ahead and we'll open it up for some questions. Yes?
How did the team feel after the game?
This was a really hard game for us. With throughout the week, we prepared really well, and we didn't, with not having school on Friday and traveling down there, I was really pleased with how our kids were locked in all day. They concentrated, and honestly, they played as good as we've played all year in this football game. And unfortunately, we came up short in it. So that really hurt, because I think a lot of them felt like they prepared well and did well, but still came up short on the losing end of it with the way the game ended there. So it was a disheartening. I know I rode the bus home. I was on one of the buses that we had, and you could have heard a pin drop the entire way. It was dead quiet the entire way. And I'm hoping, that it's carried over into this week, and that same preparedness comes in as we go into this last game and fuel off that disappointment that we had in that game. Yes?
With the game being on Thursday this week, how is that affecting your practice schedule?
It changes some stuff up, and with us not getting back till past midnight on Friday night, we had kids in Saturday morning at 8 a.m., and so a really quick turnaround there. We practice Sunday, which we just move our schedule up one day. So normally we have at least Sunday off from practice. And this week we practiced Sunday, and we did our normal Tuesday practice on Monday, which was hindered with the rain last night. We were more than just rain, it was really the storming. And we were inside last night into a gym at Liberty Middle School. It felt like we got some good work done in there. And then we'll do a Wednesday practice on Tuesday and just move everything up one day. It changes a little bit also on our post-game stuff, and that normally, after a Friday game, we have Saturday off and are able to do some things with film and preparation that way, and we won't be able to do that until after school on Friday. So I'm hoping we can get a crowd. With that, our crowds in the past on Thursday nights have not been as large just because of activities and school things. But these kids have worked really hard, and hopefully we have a nice group out there. I know we'll have a great student group, but a community group that can come out as well. So it does change some things happening as Thursday. There's, one positive is if we move into week 10 with the playoff, it does give us 1 week of extra or 1 day of extra preparation heading into that time frame. Yes.
How do you feel having a season like this has strengthened the team?
Well, this has been a tough season from a win-loss standpoint, and there's a lot of sayings that talk about how adversity makes you stronger, and I couldn't be more proud of our kids and with how they've handled themselves, and then also just continue to get better each week. And the norm that you may think would happen, that people get down in the dumps or get discouraged, we really haven't had that. Our practices have been upbeat, and kids are having fun, and I think you can see that on the sidelines and as they're playing and as we go through this time. So I've been really proud of how they handle themselves, and hopefully this will prepare them in life for if they hit adversity throughout life, and on how they can handle it and rebound from it. We still have season left with this game coming up and then our playoffs, so we know that there's time that we can show that we're a better team than what we've shown on the field so far. It's just a good group of kids. I feel like they're really close and they strong to each other, and the guys that have been there, that were there when we ended up third in the state last year in 6A in the Massey rankings, those guys have been through good times, they've been through bad, and I think they've showed good examples how to handle both. Yes.
What's the hardest factor you think you're going to have to face on Thursday?
Well, when you look at a team like Ruskin comes in, and when you look at all their games, they've had one game they played extremely well, and that was against St. Joe Central, and they lost the game 30-24, and it was against a team that beat us. St. Joe Central beat us in a close game up at St. Joe Central week 5, and when you look at how that game was close, it's because they caused a lot of turnovers. They disrupted St. Joe's offense, and then they were able to get some big plays in their run game. with their quarterback's ability to scramble. So we know those are some of the things that we're going to have to do is shut down the big play with them, and then also limit our turnovers. Turnovers hurt us in the second half this past week. We had a turnover inside of 10, both in the third quarter and the fourth quarter that could have been points for us that would have helped us win that football game, and we know that we have to do a better job with that and not creating opportunities for the other team. Craig, yes?
What was different between the first half and the second half?
Well, I think we were able to get out a quick lead on some quick strike plays. We scored. We had one series that was 4 plays and one that was 1 that allowed us, and we took advantage